Bam.
Yes, sir.
All right. We are here. Hold on. Let me pull up the feed. Oh, I got a good question. Since we just started the show, I'll ask you as soon as I pull this feed up. Hold on. There we go. All right, real quick intro to the show. We are back on a Friday. Welcome to another episode of UnQuantized Podcast, the number one podcast for producers, by producers, listened to by producers, loved by producers, and all that producery stuff.
All that.
Now that the keywords are out of the way. Welcome. I got a question though. For you and anybody that's listening on the replay.
What's that?
I just had a great conversation with the homie EA Ski. Shout out to EA Ski. Always a thought-provoking conversation. So it led me to a question. If an artist says that they have a masterpiece album, even before it's released, how much stock do you put into that? Are you expecting a masterpiece, or do you view it as they're just saying what artists say?
Yeah, I think it's just marketing. Because for me, it's only a couple albums that are masterpieces. It's very few. So to use that word, it's very difficult for me. That standard is so high. For me, it's like when someone says that, I know I'm going to be disappointed 9 times out of 10. I know for a fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was funny because Ski don't play. So it was two viewpoints. One was what I talked about earlier.
My bad.
The bag. Is this where we play Major Bag Alert?
No. It's cool.
But I realized that I think I'm immune to that type of marketing. Like when someone says it, I don't even care. Like it's not that I don't think you have a good album coming, especially if I know the artist. I kind of know what to expect from you.
Right.
But I think someone saying that, it just goes in one ear and out the other for me, especially if I like you already. Like I don't care. I feel like you're saying that for other people. However, I didn't take into account there could be another perspective of people feeling like, yo, you lied. I never thought about that. Like, fam, you lied to me. You told me it was a masterpiece, and it was a halfsterpiece, if you will. It was
trashterpiece.
Trash. That's so you got masterpiece, a halfterpiece, and then a trashterpiece.
Hey. Yeah,
look at us coining phrases out this joint.
Trademark, patent pending. Like
Facts.
For me, Kanye West, My Dark Twisted Fantasy is in there, and Masterpiece, right? And then it's a few, like to me, Justin Timberlake, Justified. I'll argue anybody down about that album. Incredible, except the Brian McKnight record. You know what I mean? That A. Marie album that Rich Harris did.
Ooh,
that masterpiece.
Outside of that, you're right.
And then I ain't gonna front. This is one that people might. Hey, if you're an R&B head, Omarion 21, the production on that, incredible, dog.
I might have to go check that out. I'm pretty sure I never listened to that whole album in its entirety.
Pharrell, Polo, B. Cox, and Eric Hudson. Pretty much the whole album.
Smells crazy. Like a masterpiece. Smell like a masterpiece through the phone.
Yeah, it's jam. To me, those are masterpieces, right? And outside of that, bruh, it's so many great albums, but nothing, they ain't on the same level for me. And then music is so weird now of like, I don't know, man, you don't have that same, like, it don't stick like it used to. You know what I mean? It's just, So it's like the saying masterpiece is like, because people judging like off rip, dog. I feel like everything is just like, either it's like great or terrible off rip. Nothing gets time to sink in. It's just immediately. Like the Future joint, people was like, it's terrible. And I was like, the more I listen to it, the more I kind of like it. It grows on me, but it's like I only heard it two, 3 times. I kind of skimmed through it. You know what I mean? I haven't had time to really vibe with it.
Yeah, I still haven't finished listening to the album. I started listening to it, and I haven't finished it. But that's all. I was about to say that's also saying something, but I haven't really had that. I got to be in a certain headspace to sit down and like really listen to an album, and I haven't really been in that. But to me, it's marketing. It's like when rappers say they're the best rapper alive. I feel like as a rapper, that's kind of what you're supposed to say.
Right.
But if I'm in the community of people where it just goes in one ear and not the other, the only other people you have left to talk to are the people that are really going to see if you're telling the truth.
You're right.
And that's when it can get dicey. And that was a point that Ski brought up. And I was like, you are absolutely right. Because some people, they're going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
And then I had a theory about, because I'm like, well, I think I asked him, and I asked this in general, do you think that the person really believes they made a masterpiece? And that's up for debate, because to me it's marketing, and for some people, yes, you could tell they really do believe it. But my theory is, how that artist feels about that album when they put out the next album, because then they talk about the previous album like, yeah, the last album we rushed it, and it wasn't this and it wasn't that. You get the real. So my theory is, you never know how artists really feels about their album until they put out their next album. Then they tell you how they really felt about it.
It was like that. You remember this Eminem album that came out not too long ago, and everybody hated it. And then right after, he put out another album, and it was actually, people loved that one way more. But it was one that was weird that everybody hated, and it was like quick. I feel like it's like a very similar thing of like, it's like almost like a, let me rebound. And you'll see artists do that a lot. Like, oh, this one didn't really hit, so let me put out a mixtape. Let me put out something to kind of distract you a little quick. Yeah, kind of get you off. Like, all right, cool. I was warming up. That was a heat check.
How do you now? Okay, so I was gonna say, how do you feel about artists that put out they'll release an album and then they'll release the deluxe? I was looking at the amount of time it takes for them to put out an album and to put out the deluxe album, and that kind of, I use that as a gauge about how you really felt about your album. Because if you feel like it didn't hit like you wanted to initially, you quickly put out the deluxe album with the extra songs on it. But now, I was listening. Where'd I get this from? I think I was listening to the Joe Budden podcast, and it was a good point brought up on there. Now everything is so much about like the tactics and the numbers. It's someone like, because Future, I believe it was Future, put out a deluxe album or a whatever album like 2 days after the album came, or a week after the album came out. It had a whole bunch of extra songs on it. But now it could be, no, it was a few days. But the point was brought up that it could be, everyone cares about first week numbers. So if you have first week numbers and the real people that wanted to hear it, and other people didn't listen to it, if you put out a deluxe album with extra songs on it, it might jar other people's attention to listen to it, and that still counts for the first week. So saying all that to say, my theory about putting out another effort or an enhanced effort immediately used to indicate it didn't slap it like you wanted it to, but now it seems to be like it's going to be a tactic.
You know what it is? It's in e-commerce. Like, you ever get them like emails and they be like, we made a mistake, sell extended. That is the deluxe album. That is like the Fashion Nova jug equivalent of like for music. You know what I mean? It's just like, all right, this is gonna be another talking point. We're gonna put on a feature that somebody is like, blogs gonna want to talk about. It's gonna draw more attention again. So it's like a second wave, which is, I mean, marketing wise, genius. But it's just like, I don't know, man. I do miss the cohesiveness of albums and like making albums for the sake of albums. Now it's like albums for the sake of streams. Like, you'll see songs that's like old singles that's on there because it's like they want to collect those streams to make it go towards, you know what I'm saying? That's why everybody's going more gold and platinum easier, because they'll put like that single that's on there and that gives you a certain amount of, I forgot the math to it, but it's like that equals like a certain amount of streams toward your album. You know what I'm saying? That you could use the old stuff. So that's why you see these people have mad old singles on their journey. You be like DJ Khaled's famous for that. The single will be like a year old and it'll be on the album. You like, bro, how? You know what I mean? But I get it.
He did that on his last album, like the Drake joint that had been out for a while. Or maybe two of them joints was on there. And you're like, all right, I get it. I think that's also what contributes. I'm pretty sure that's what contributes to albums being so short now.
Oh yeah.
I don't really appreciate that. it's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm like, fam, it's an album. Why is this joint 28 minutes long?
I think a lot of it too is because people are so quick to like throw it away. So it's like I get it. It's like, well, who's gonna spend a year working on an album when people are gonna have 2 weeks of like really consuming it and then they own to something else? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah. But why are your
tricky.
songs a minute and 20 seconds long?
Bro, it's getting worse and worse, bro. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
it's a bunch of artists and all they do is like the song will be 2 minutes and 30 seconds, and it's just each 4 bars is like a new beat. It's a weird thing. I'm just like, bro, who thinks of this? But it's like becoming a trend. It's like weird.
It's dangerous because I feel like now it's at a point where it's the tactics to get the numbers up, versus, and also a combination of I want to make a dope album, to where it used to be I just want to make a dope album. Now it's the dope album with the tactics, and I feel like it's gonna go further to where it's like, if I got the name and the brand, I'm just gonna put out something super short, and I don't really care what it is. I just want to get these numbers up to get out of my deal, or to get this next level of my contract, or something like that. And I feel like I really do want to make a masterpiece album. It's less incentive for that. Yeah, because it's not celebrated. Even if you put out the best album that people have heard in years, it's not going to be celebrated to where you feel like the amount of work you put in is paying off. Niggas about to start putting out grocery lists.
And I think that future Gucci Man like tactic, like people saw that it worked, of like, yo, I'm just gonna throw out music. Like they record like 5 songs a day, and then we just gonna keep throwing out music, and whatever one sticks. And so now everybody's doing that, and I feel like it's great in a way, but then in a way it's like the downfall of like everything. It's like, because now everybody's an A&R, everybody's like I don't know, it's weird, man. I missed it being like this camp, and we're gonna like make this project, and it's only gonna be us. We're gonna figure it out and then release it to the world. And if you like it, like TDE to me does a great job of like their projects or whatever they're gonna make their projects how they want to make them. They're gonna take their time. You know what I mean? It's like, and it sounds like they take their time with them. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I feel like most artists can't sustain that business wise, because you got to have a certain foundation to be able to do that. You know what I mean? So it's tricky. True.
I don't mind the tactics. You got to, like, marketing is great. And when you find people that make different and new ways of marketing, I think it's genius, but I just don't want the integrity of actually caring about making good music goes away. Cause then we in a weird place, because if you're an artist of note and you start subscribing to that, like, I'm just going to put out whatever, fam. You about to get the voice notes off my iPhone just for the sake of me putting out something. That encourages other people that are getting into the game to do the same. Now, you may have come from the era of, I made great music, but now I'm all about the numbers. But you still got that, I know how to make great music inside in you. But you're encouraging people that are up and coming that have never had the hustle to, like, I really want to try to make a masterpiece. Now they just like, yo, put out whatever. Okay, man, my bad. They just like, put out whatever. And I think it can get really, really dangerous, bro. I definitely gotta.
Stolen Drums does it right. Stolen Drums is dope, bro.
Yeah, Stolen Drums is fire.
He's fire, bro. I like his story. He's one of, like, I don't know him, but it's just like people always have told me about like him, and like when he was first started, my friend was like, yo, I got a friend that's making beats. He's doing like a video a day. I forgot exactly what it was, but it's like he's making content, making beats, he's learning. And to see where he's at now from that is like crazy, bro. So it's like, I always, appreciate his work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be going foolish with it.
He's fire, bro. But I want people to want to make good music. Yeah. Don't let it be all about the tactics. Because if that's the case, my little cousin could get in the game tomorrow and run the numbers up. But now when you go to what's suggested for you, or wherever you go for music, you're just gonna get a whole list of people that's just trying to run the numbers up and to make it seem like the whole genre is trash.
That's right.
When it's really just people that could make good music, but the tactics pay off more than the artistry.
You know what I think too? That people got a full send more on these ideas. Like, hear me out, right? I was thinking about this the other day. Have you seen that they got this dude they call Perkio that looks like Little Durk? He looks just like him. And then they get the fake Drake, right? And all these are popping up. It needs to be a type beat person who makes a type beat, but looks like that person. Like you need to go full send all the way in and make type beat. Bro, do you know how many clicks they would get though? Do you realize how they would go crazy, bro?
So what you saying? You about to be Nirel? Not far. You about to be Nirel?
No, not me. One of y'all take that one and run with it. Not me.
not the Neptunes. The Jupiter. We could be the Jupiters, cuz.
No Saturn rings. No, none of that.
That's what you heard that there's a fake. There's a fake of the fake. Dirt.
It's a lot going on the internet, bro.
The internet is so great and so bad at the same time, bro. Yeah. Hold on. We ain't even acknowledged the chat. I ain't even look. I've been talking to you the whole time. I ain't even look to see that there's actual people in this thing.
Slugging Tunes, what up? Yo, buddy, what up? Quintino. What up?
Come on now.
We got Michael Davis.
What up?
Yeah, Michael.
Yes,
got
sir.
Black Russia, Ice Cold Beverage.
Come on, man. All the fly names in here.
Victorious,
what up?
Ice Cold Beverage. You need to like come out like Stone Cold Steve Austin to like every beat battle. You just need to like flip the sample, and then somebody throw you an ice cold. Come on, dog. It's visuals, man.
Come on, bro. Man. If your tag don't have like ice cubes being poured into a glass, you're missing out.
Refreshing.
Ice cold beverage. That's kind of fire. That's kind of fire, bro.
Have you seen, bro, the new competition in the producer world? I think I like it, man.
What's going on?
So BeatStars is a new competitor in the game.
Oh yes, young Hit Boy
and United Masters. They have a new platform that's called introducing Beat Exchange. Yeah, it looks clean. UI, I'm not mad at UI UX. I like that they have sync and brand opportunities. They say I have no idea how this besides that works, but yeah, I do like the competition because it's gonna force people. You know, competition is good at business. It forces hands. It makes you get. I mean, for the consumer, it's better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, competition is always good for the consumer. Always.
Yeah. So for producers, hey, it's another avenue. You know, hopefully we'll see. You know, they support. But I think Hit Boy is a smart dude, man. So you know.
He's doing it at the right time. I have heard people not downing it, but I've heard people say why they don't think it's good. But I haven't looked into it. But just going off the general fact that there's competition in that arena, right. Like I said, it's always good for the consumer. I'm not the consumer for that arena, but if you are, or artists, I guess, is the consumer, it's good for them.
Exactly.
Yeah,
should be interesting.
Yeah, none of us in here are really the consumer.
Yeah. They got Kato is over there.
Oh, fire. Okay.
Shout out to Kato.
Now, see, I didn't realize that they had people already, or I didn't know who they already had. You got any other names that they got?
Not that I know of. Y'all might know some of these other people. This A. Archer dude looks familiar. I can't, but I just don't remember.
Facts.
And then I don't remember the other people. Sorry.
Yeah. Yo, by the way, Busyworks Beats came in this joint with all the jokes.
Just Glaze.
What up? He said just Glaze. Mike will outsource it.
That's a great one. That's a great
and Alt Jacob. Not ATL Jacob.
Not ATL.
ALT Jacob. Yo, I'm not gonna lie.
That's hilarious.
Busy been doing improv, bro. And shout out to Busyworks Beats, man. If you're not follow him, and from what I understand, Busy has a dope Discord, so go ahead and join that thing if you're not already in there.
Yes sir.
NATO on the track. I'm done. Oh, he got the sauce.
Yeah. He been thinking about this.
Oh, he couldn't wait. He could not wait. Hey, listen, anybody that was about to type Kanye East, you can't type that now. We got real competition in here with the jokes.
Yo, how do you feel about this the drill songs, but they be sampling like the mad popular songs? Have you heard it's like one where they sample like this Akon and "Hey ladies, drop it down, just when it's," and they made like a drill. Bro, they're
Yeah.
never gonna get these songs clear, bro. Ain't no way in the world they're getting these songs clear, dog. It's only a matter of time they're gonna get snatched off TikTok, bro. But it's jamming.
Listen, in the day and age where clout is considered a type of currency, it pays. To me, when I look at the bank accounts, it don't pay, but it can pay. It can pay indirectly, and also I'm not the participant or the target audience for it. So hey, listen, if you got a new way to do it or a new wave, by all means, go ahead. But like you said, never going to get cleared. But I assume that's not what they're going for anyway.
It's like their most expensive version of sampling. It's like we're going to take the most noticeable part of the most popular song, and we're just going to loop it and put drill drums over it. It's going to be jamming, but also publishing is going to be non-existent, bro. Nothing, bro.
None. Oh, you get none, but you gonna get some looks, and them looks could indirectly turn into something. But
see, this is where I worry about that, right? Because when you depend on the samples like that so heavily, when you try to do original music, sometimes it don't hit. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like you leaning on those samples. So I just worry that, you know what I'm saying? It's like if you make a style of that, trying to go a certain, I don't know, go more mainstream with it, I feel like you're gonna hit a ceiling because you can't, I don't know. It's gonna be hard to get past those samples. You know what I mean?
Niggas want to pop on TikTok now, not necessarily the charts. And I think that's what leads to that type of thinking. That's like, true. I'm killing on TikTok. I'm like, true you are. But publishing wise, which we were brought up, that's what counts. The pub. But I mean, maybe not so much now.
I feel like I need to have a sit and talk with like a tier and all these people about like all these digital revenue streams, because it just so much is changing. It's just like I feel like I just need to be brung up to speed with everything. Make sure I'm aware of everything, because I still feel like it's stuff I could be optimizing. I'm probably not. That'd be a good show. Good.
That would be a good show. That'd be a great show, actually. Yeah. Something to put a pin in.
I hit my dog.
Tactics. It's the day of the tactics. Tactics have always existed, but they existed hand in hand with artistry. I think it's just very dangerous when getting away from actually wanting to be a good artist. It's like a basketball player. Do you really want to be the best ball player in the league, or do you just want to be the best dressed on the court and get the most camera time? Or the best dressed on the bench and get the most camera time? And it's like, well, if everybody in the league went to that, you would just have a whole bunch of shitty players that look great. And I don't want music to really go in that direction. But, you know, that's just my 2 cents on the matter. Okay. Like, you can do both.
Let me ask you this, bro. So this, I saw this the other day and it made me think about it. So Drake signs a new deal, right? Universal Music Group again, $400 million, they say, right?
Outrageous.
My question is, Drake could be independent if he wanted to, easily.
Yes.
Right? And if independent had all the benefits and with somebody as much resources as Drake, why not go independent? What is the benefit? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I think I understand, but I just want to, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, he could be the best case scenario of being independent, right? He could, if anybody could pull off being independent and have the resources to make it work great and, you know what I mean, and flow smoothly, it would be him. And the fact that he still chose major over that, it shows that I feel like it's always going to be somebody who chooses a major, and it's always going to be a value of a label, even though the value is changing. You know what I'm saying? But it's always going to be some value of the record labels that people want to be aligned with them.
Okay, so I have a couple questions and a theory, and this is all stuff that's just coming to the top of my head. I haven't even thought about this. First off, the question: if he went independent, do you think that he would amass the same amount of, let's just keep it financial, the same amount of money being independent as he would by doing this type of deal?
See, Busy brings up a good point. He said he'll get blacklisted from the venues. I didn't even think
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was also thinking too, outside of like, I don't feel like it. Everyone knows how strong, if you got a big label, the biggest parent label in the world backing you. Everyone knows how strong a label can be. The only reason why labels don't come through for a lot of artists is because of the artist caliber. But if I'm the biggest artist in the world, I can make that machine flex its full might for me. And I could flex my full might on my own, and I would do better than 99% of the people in the industry. But if I can put my effort plus the full might of what this machine can do for me, I feel like I might make out double. But that's just a theory that I came up with right now. Because it takes more work to do it independently. And I think maybe just like, I know what I want to do, and I can tell them to do it, and they'll make it happen.
Right. Yeah. It's the variable is that it's Drake, right?
Yes.
The record labels, I get what you're saying. Because it's Drake, the record label has it. It's an easy win-win situation. But if it's a different artist that's not as proven, sometimes the record labels fall through and all that. But with Drake, they're gonna make sure they own that piece. That makes sense. Got you.
Yeah. And if you look at it, it's somewhat of a 360 deal, but his 360 ain't like the regular 360 for either side. Right. Yeah, it's just a certain level of treatment that I think he can pull off. And they'll go harder for him than they've ever gone for any artist, probably since in decades.
Right. It's just funny. I just thought it was funny because especially like this day and age, this all you hear about is independence, right? Breaking away from the label, but yet the biggest artists they keep staying with the labels. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I just wonder. It's like, again, it's like e-commerce. Like people say like e-commerce and dropshipping. It's like, oh, we made all this money. It's like, are you really making all this money? You know what I'm saying? It's like. Right. So I'm just wondering, is the independence is as great as everybody's saying it is, or is it just like, I don't want to say like the NFT thing, but you know what I'm saying? Was the independence thing more of a fad, which I understand the ups and downs of both sides. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying it's like a bad thing, but like, I feel like sometimes people get caught up in other people are saying this and now they're like jumping into this. And for all these big artists to keep choosing this, it's like, that's interesting.
Well, listen, that machine is not I know labels have gotten a bad name and labels have done some crazy things, but like you said, the variable is the artist.
That makes sense.
That's the variable. So you going independent versus somebody else going independent, totally different. Also, I feel like the push towards independence is just following the push towards is it like all these Americans quit their job, like 4.5 million in March and all this stuff. The world is going towards an independent culture. And I feel like a lot of people push that independent culture because they benefit. If you go independent, you're going to need somebody to market for you. You're going to need distribution. You're going to need this. You're going to need that. Versus if you have a label, they got all that in-house. And then all these freelance people that do specific things, they don't really get a cut of that. So if I join in this pool of like everybody be independent, those people, they're gonna have a payday, and it's not bad. And for somebody that knows how to do the independent thing, by all means, man, rock with it. I just know if you can get that machine behind you, you are you out of here. But not everybody can do that. Most people can't do that.
Yeah. I always be trying to like ask why something is like, why didn't they do this? Or like, what's the other side of this? Because
for sure,
for sure.
I'm not being rude. I have some logistical things to go over, but I'm still listening.
No, that's all good. Let's see. Independent cannot do anything up against Live Nation and Clear Channel Crew.
Depends on the artist, man.
I think because I feel like it is some independent artists that's like out here. I'm just trying to think who would be the biggest example of independent. Would it be Russ? Would it be
actually? I think even if you could find another person, that's a perfect example in my mind. Yeah, I mean, I think it's dope. And some people, if everyone's afforded the same opportunity to go independent, it depends on you as a person. It's funny because in either situation, it really just depends on you as a person. Because if you are nobody, I use that term loosely, not to offend. If you go independent, it's going to be a struggle for you.
You are
And if you're right, and if
independent.
you are also nobody and you happen to sign to a label, that label is going to work for you like they would work for nobody. Versus if you're a well-established artist and you go independent, you're going to reap more rewards because you know the game, you got more connections. Versus if you were independent, a artist of that caliber on a label, the label's going to work harder for you. So I think the common denominator is your perceived value as an artist.
Right.
You know, and that's really what the people perceive, because the label is only going to perceive you as being of high value if you've proven to be of high value to the audience.
Right.
It's less, it's less of a gamble for them. So to get that love, you almost have to prove yourself as an independent to even go over there and get the proper respect you deserve.
See, Russ ain't a household name. Household names are on labels. See, I don't agree with that, right? And here's why.
Come on,
I can name you 50 artists on Atlantic, and you can. It's a bajillion artists. I don't even think Atlantic. Something happened on Atlantic, so it's not the same. But it was a bunch of artists they signed, and you couldn't tell the name. So it's not the label. I think part of it, bro, is the internet, how it works. Like, I feel like Drake is at that tail end of like super uber famous. It's like that kind of famous is different now. It's like TikTok famous and YouTube famous is a little different than the Drake famous, if that makes sense. And I don't think that none of these new artists is coming out have that new famous kind of I don't think you can. I think it's just how it works. That's why you see a lot of these older artists like don't know what to do. There's like struggling to figure it out because they're famous, but it's not like internet famous. It's like it doesn't always translate all the way through. So it's like a weird phase of, I don't know if it's going to be a household name like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, Russ is a household name because if you say Russ, most people know who I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But that's just a independent. Is he totally independent?
I think so. I'm pretty sure he's like,
the upside to being doing well independently is that you don't have to be a household name, because you see so much of the pie. It doesn't take the world for you to be successful at selling something. It goes back to the 1,000 true fans type of mentality, because the one person's name I'm going to throw out, and of course a million people saw this coming, Tech-9.
Exactly.
Most people don't know who Tech-9 is. One of the most wealthy and a master of the independent game. I mean, Google it if you don't know. But you don't have to be a household name to win independently. Now, to win on a label, I feel like you have to be a household name, or they're trying to make you that household name. And if you don't achieve that benchmark, then it's kind of like you didn't win. You know?
It's like, I feel like being on the label is like being in NBA. If you're at the middle, it's bad, right? If you're at the top of the standings, you got a chance for the championship. If you're at the bottom, you could draft, you could get better, you get dropped. You know what I'm saying? It's options for you. But if you're in the middle, that's the worst spot, because it's like you can't get better and you don't have a chance at winning. And that's how I feel like a lot of times what labels are. It's like, if you just like decent, you got 1 or 2 hits, it's terrible, because it's like you're not gonna get that much resources. It's like, all right, we gave it to you. You got to try to figure this out. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it's tough for a lot of artists, man. It's weird, bro. You see a lot of these artists like doing crimes and falling off and stuff like that.
Bro, it's wild. Tough. I feel like, and there's a huge area where an independent win is a label loss. Like if you did the same when you were signed to a label, that they would consider that a loss. Versus if you were independent, you did those same exact numbers, you'd be like, yo, I killed it independently. It's just that area, man. So it's trade-offs to both, but both at this stage are hard to get because there's no artist development. Everyone knows that. Like labels, if they signed you, they wanted to push you to win more than they do now. Now they're like, look, we signed you because we already think that you can win. But if you prove us otherwise and it starts to be a headache to us, you out of here. We're gonna dismiss you. We didn't put a whole lot into you, so we're not gonna lose a whole lot if we let you go.
Yeah, they giving them Shark Tank deals. Have you sold? How much profit you made? Word. All right, cool. We can do a deal now.
Facts.
Am I the only person to watch Shark Tank to be like, first they be saying how much they want, I be doing the math like, oh, word. They want That's 20%. True. Okay, that's not bad. Decent. And then I'd be like guessing. I'd be like, oh, they ain't gonna get no deal. Because you could tell the ones that's gonna get a deal is like they know their numbers, they know what's coming in. You know what I mean? They got something proprietary. So I'd be guessing. I'd be like, no, he ain't getting it. Yeah, fool about to get Mr. Wonderful about to go get him.
That's a fact. And it'd be funny because, like you said, the ones that seem to know their numbers and have a good product, those are the ones that's going to get the deal, because you don't necessarily have to have crazy numbers for them to invest in you all the time. But if you know your numbers, they're great. But if you got low numbers, but they think it's a great product, you'll get a deal. It might not be the best deal, but yeah. But it's some people that come in there and they be hemming and hawing. I'm like, ooh, they about to tear you up just to get ratings.
Exactly.
It's like the beginning of American Idol, that first week where they just put all the horrible people in there so they could just trash them and get the ratings up because people want to see that.
I would only watch that. That was the only part I would watch.
Exactly.
Then after that, I don't care.
Yeah, the people that can really sing, like after you get past all that, like I don't care. Yeah. It's like karaoke. I don't want to see nobody that can really sing.
Yeah. I want to, we should be drunk and horribly off key. That's the whole point.
Yeah. Yo, if you can really sing and you do karaoke.
Yeah, I don't like you.
Nah, it's not. This is amateur night. Get out of here, Patty LaBelle.
As much as I love singers, being around singers and songwriters who just sing nonstop and everything it's about them as a song is so annoying. I hate being on the phone with somebody and you just doing runs in my ear. Like, bro, stop, bro. I'm trying to have a serious conversation and you over here harmonizing, dog. Leave me alone, dog.
Dog, that is one of the most annoying people in the world. The artist that's and like you said, they're always doing runs too. They're not even singing the song. They just doing runs.
If you don't chill out, dog.
Well, if you don't join the track team, get the hell out of my ear.
Sounding like one of them arcade the little lines. Like, was Nipsey hilarious. Independent? Yeah. But that's the tough one because I feel like the Nipsey thing is like with the household name, it's tricky because I feel like he was getting there, but that situation just it made him more famous. But yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah, but I will say, I didn't know if he was fully independent or not, but if so, that's even better because he was one of the people that was doing it right, like really doing it right. And I like to see people that are independent where it pays off. They keep their stock keeps rising, and as the stock rises, you don't see the urge in them to go jump on the ship to make their stock rise even more. They almost have the whole mindset of like, you got to come at me crazy for me to even consider coming over there. And I like to see that. I love to see that, actually.
Wasn't that how like Action Bronson was for a while? It was a rapper that was like, they kept fighting doing the label thing, and then they finally did the label thing and they hated it. And then now are independent. I feel like it was Action Bronson, but I might be mistaken.
Could be. By the way, I heard him and Alchemist put out a dope project. I haven't checked it out yet. Yeah, I gotta check it out. I heard it's like, you know what Action will give you, what Alchemist gonna give you. I heard it was dope, like you'd expect, but it was like everybody I heard talk about it say it was weird, like the beats were weird, but in a good way. So I definitely want to check it out. Weird Alchemist, I'm all for that. Yeah, I don't even know what that is, but I want to hear it.
Man, it should be a thing where it's like all the producers put like their weird beats that they love, but it's like they're kind of like skeptical and make a project with those because them to me be the most interesting ones. It's like because the ones we hear from people are like a lot of times the safe ones or like the ones that's like, you like that one? I'd be wanting to hear like the beats where people be like, yeah, this is the one I really think is jamming. You know what I mean?
So you basically encouraging everybody getting their Pharrell bag because he's the master of that right now to me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he gonna give you a beat that's weird now, and it's gonna be jamming.
I love it, man.
Yes, sir.
I encourage more people to make some wild, weird beats.
Bro, speaking of we were speaking of something. Pharrell, Pusha T was on Drink Champs, by the way. That's not what I was really getting at, but check that out if you will. If you're like me, you love Pusha T. And also if you're really like me, you're from Virginia. But even if you're not from Virginia, the Pusha T Drink Champs joint was pretty good. Saying all that to say, I'm still enjoying most of that album, and I realized the reason because somebody asked me today why I like that album, or why I like Push, I'm still a sucker for the Hot 16. Like if you can give me 16 bars that are fire with the metaphors and you talking that shit. Like I'm not a street dude or none of that, but I love street rap. Like I 100% love it. So if you give me a Hot 16 and you talking street or all street, I'm with it. So that's why I really rock with Pusha T's album. And it's from Virginia. And that leads me to the second part of that and the last part of that. Out of the people that's giving me the Hot 16s and the bars that I love, Push. And I don't know if you check out Jack Harlow's joint yet.
I haven't heard it yet, but a lot of the homies got some joints on there. Dog, FNZ, they got 2 on there again, bro.
They out
here, bro. They is going crazy. They got 2 on the future. They got, bro. They out here, bro.
They out here. To me, Jack is of that newer class where he's great because he's gonna give me bars. I love bars. He's gonna give me all that. I can listen to Jack Harlow. He's one of the people I can listen to rap all day, and he knows how to make good songs.
I gotta check it out.
So yeah,
I know Boy Wonder produced on it. Jahan Sweets, FNZ produced on it. So it's like once I see those kind of producers on it, I know the product's gonna be good. You know kind of what you expected. So it's just like, all right, let me. Yeah. But a lot of albums came out, bro. So I gotta sit down and listen. It was a lot of stuff.
That's where I'm stuck at. He's gonna give you bars, and I love that. He's in the Drake category to me. Because the songs are gonna be good. They're gonna be somewhat commercial. It's gonna be a lot of songs for the women. Not necessarily my bag, but I appreciate them because it's still bars in them. And I like if you know how to make a great song and you got bars, you're satisfying a wider pool of listeners, and you'll always win. To me, and that's where Drake wins, because like Drake or not, he give you bars, like dope bars.
Bro, I'm such a sample hater. I love that Fergie Glamorous song so much that Polo did that I don't like that. I don't like that they sampled it. I was like, I hate it, bro, because I love that song so much, bro.
Wait. I was gonna get into that too, because that takes us to when you were talking about the drill people doing the famous samples. That is the song right now to me that embodies that the most, even though it's not a drill song. I was like, damn, you use that. I like it. I like his song, even though it's a single, so I'm not gonna listen to it when it comes up on the album. But women love it. It was just a great it was a good song, but not necessarily for me.
Yeah, I get why it works, but I'm just like, bro, it's like I heard somebody sample a Khalees song, was it yesterday? And I wanted to throw my phone, bro. I'm like, how dare you disrespect Pharrell and Chadwick Hugo with this horrible sample chops that you put over this Khalees song. It was bad. It's like, if you're gonna do it, make it good, bro. And the Jack Harlow, it ain't bad. Polo one is what it is. Polo just went crazy on that Glamorous right now. Like that was one of them songs where I remember being like a kid and hearing this, like, I want to make pop music. I want to produce like this. That was like that's why I love that song so much, bro.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
It's in that category. I'm not gonna say of songs that shouldn't be touched, but I feel you. It's sometimes things are just too. To me, the epitome of that is like if someone sampled like Michael Jackson Beat It or Thriller or something like that. Yeah. And I'm trying to get out of the mindset of it's too early to sample that. Because certain things I think that way, I got to look back and I'm like, fam, that was 15 years ago or 10 years ago. But it's just when people sample songs that have samples in them too, that bothers me.
It just got to be good, man. Like, have you heard it's a Polo G song and he samples Thriller?
Nah, I haven't heard. I don't want to hear
Is it Thriller or Beat It?
That's Smooth Criminal.
Smooth Criminal. That's what he sampled. It's horrible, bro.
Yeah, I don't want to hear that.
It's Smooth Criminal replayed over trap drums. It makes me so angry, dog. Every time I hear the song, I'm like, who cleared this, bro? Why?
Yeah, I feel like you're insulting me. When I was a kid and I saw Fred and Barney rapping about the Fruity Pebbles, I was and it gives me that same level of offense. Like, okay, now you're kind of making a mockery of something great just to sell something. And no shade to yeah, but that's not my bag, bro.
Yeah. I understand. It's like I remember when it's like I was a kid and they was playing stuff. It's like my parents would be like, "Oh man, they took the sample. This comes from this," and it's like now I'm becoming that guy. It's like, how dare you? How dare you?
I remember I used to fight people back in like not physically, but I used to argue people down about like maybe between 2002 and 2005. They used to be like, yo, you should sample that Jodeci song. I'm like, fam, that joint just came out. What are you talking about? I was totally against that. I'm trying to get out of that, but like you said,
it ain't no time limit. I heard people sampling Solange the other day, and it was hard, bro. I was like, oh, this is a good little.
See, it's getting worse. To me, it should be a certain amount of time, fam. Don't sample me, and I just came out with my song yesterday.
Oh, the album just dropped. Oh yeah, sample.
Yeah. Oh, sampling cranes in the sky.
You sampling the iTunes preview? That joint ain't even drop yet. Like how?
Hey, I'm gonna come out with a song tomorrow where I sample Jack Harlow, the new Jack Harlow.
The Instagram video where it's like people talking in the back where he in the studio making it. You're like, man, he got the clean sample.
Yeah. Oh man.
Eminem inducted to Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's cool.
Yeah, it was a whole list of people. It was like 3 or 4 people in that batch that got inducted that I thought was really dope. I can't remember who they are now, but shout out to them. Yo, by the way, Cypress Hill said they buried weed under their Hollywood Walk of Fame, their Hollywood star. Don't try to dig it up. As they even said, yeah, don't try to smoke it. It's bad now. Don't do that. You'll go to jail and it's nothing good in there for you.
Yeah, it's like all that effort. You could just go to the mini stores right around the corner on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah,
and just get some fresh.
Yeah, go to Venice Beach. Knock yourself out.
Yeah.
Knock yourself out.
Yo, I was gonna ask, what BPM is everybody like rocking with, bro? I find myself that I start like always gravitating to the same BPM, and then I had to like make myself get out of that like loop of like making beats in this. So I'm trying to find a new BPM. So I'm hopefully somebody put some random BPMs in the chat, and I'm gonna see a number that looks very symmetrical.
I like that. Give me your while people type this in, give me your top 3 BPMs. I'll give you my top 3.
I've been 144 a lot, 160. It's been my jam. A lot of 160, and then if I'm on the house vibes, I'm like a 120, 116 if I'm feeling a little if I want to be a little sexier, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. So it's funny. That shows you this where I'm at with it, because what I heard from you was 72, 80, and 60 or a high 50. And my top 3. 72 for sure, 83 or 84, and 87, and sometimes 78. I got no dog. I will hit a high 50. I will do a 56, a 57. And I was listening the other day to Friendly Skies, Missy and Genuine.
Oh yeah,
and you could calculate that BPM if you want, but call it 50 something because it's super slow. And when I do those, mine are like very, almost like ballad.
Oh
slow. Yeah. I still like ballad tempos though. I know that's not in, but I like ballad tempos, and I like making ballads actually.
See, not me. I hate ballads, bro. I want to stay far away from ballads at all.
I love it. I'm a sample ballad guy.
I can see that.
I did an August Alsina joint, not the most popular name in the world, but it's a super ballad. It's probably like 50 something, and it's 3/4.
Oh yeah,
it's very waltzy. But like Friendly Skies, like I mentioned, Missy Genuine joint, it's ballad tempo, but it's a sample. I'm not a 80, I'm no Brian Michael Cox with the ballads. I'm a sample ballad guy.
Yeah. Okay, I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
We'll see. 150, always a vibe. 156. It's like those be my pocket. I'd be like 150, and then I bump it up 6. Bro, I always speed up the beat a couple times, or slow it down, or I either pitch it up or pitch it down before I export it. Every time it's like, let me see what it sounds like pitch down too, though.
Oh yeah, that's pretty dope. Actually,
it's horrible
to do the whole beat and then pitch it down.
Yeah, I just put it on my master and then check it, because sometimes to me it sounds better in a different key. So I'll just make the idea and then just pitch the whole thing down just to see if I like it in a better key, and then I could go manually fix it if I need to.
I'll be honest with you, everything sounds better pitched down to me. I don't even care where it started.
It's a trap, dog. That's why I said it's a bad thing, because every time you go, ooh, this sounds better.
Yep.
But a lot of times I do it because the 808. Because you ever get like the 808 in a certain note and it's like it don't thump the same. It's like it's weird, you know what I mean? Or it'd be too muddy. So it's like you gotta get it. Yeah. So you gotta, hit it with a little transposy pose.
Yeah, that'll help you put it in a proper key sometimes though, because I'll just put it in a key where the 808 sounds good if it's an 808 in it. And it's only certain keys that the 808 is going to sound good in that 808 octave. I saw it somewhere. Someone actually listed like the note range that 808 sound good in. I forgot. I'll just make my own and I'll put it out on the blog or something.
Yeah, that's a good post.
Yeah, but then that's kind of cool to like have that as like a go-to when you pitch something down. Like, yo, if I can get it in these keys pitch down, I know the 808 gonna hit.
That makes sense. Yeah. Let's see. Man, I dropped a fire one on 200 BPM, so this is weird, bro. So when anything passing is weird. So I make up to like 160, 170, and then I go back to normal numbers for some reason. Like 90 and 100, like I always go there. I don't know why I never do 200, which doesn't make sense.
That's too high to be double time for me. Yeah, once you hit 200, you just say 100. Because you're going back to normal numbers, and in normal numbers, 100 is fast. Because to me, 100 is 50. So you start talking about 200 to me, I'm like, bro. All I hear is 100. My mind is not going to 200. Like, that's yo, you're counting. You can't even start.
Oh yeah, your metronome working overtime.
You're counting like, oh damn, that was 4.
Have you seen that meme of Jimmy Butler at the playoffs and he like leaning on the table like he out of breath? That's the metronome after he make a beat at 200 BPM. That metronome like shit.
Damn, Slim, come on now. That's
your computer just overclocking. Okay. Let's see. 93, 97, 155. My dog making some. I feel like when I see the 90s, I feel like you on some R&B vibes or some super West Coasty.
Or some 90s hip hop type deal.
Been around 90s.
Fast 90s hip hop, actually.
125 for the dance stuff.
Bad. I want to say, what's the Drake song? That had Ross on it. Damn, I'm ruining my point, but that was at 92. It got the vocal sample in it. Somebody help me out here.
You said Ross and vocal sample. That's like every. That's every.
It's a Drake song, though.
That's every Drake song.
It's the. You're right.
That's every Drake song.
I don't know. I forget the name of that joint. Ruined it.
Oh, my dog said 160 for footwork and drum and bass. Hey.
See, that's a real 160.
Hey, I see you right there, bro. You a real one. Yeah. I rock with the footwork. I rock with the drum and bass, of course.
Yeah, somebody said I do the same halftime up to 80, 160. Yeah, but everything after that just regular time.
I don't know why that makes sense, bro. It's a limit. It's like, all right, bro, it gets too confusing after that. The bars start getting all weird.
Yeah, I'm like 200. By the way, more people in here, and we've been acknowledging them. Let me shout some names out. Shout out to Prentice, man. Prentice been in here day one for the show.
Yes, sir.
DJ 912 in the building. What up?
I see 100 content.
Oh, we got another dope new name in the building. 100 Miles.
Ooh,
fire!
It made me think of that Vanessa Carlton song. I walk 100. Ain't this song called 100 Miles? Or was it 100,000
I don't know.
miles?
I know the name of the song. I mean, I know what song it is, but I don't know the name of it.
But yeah.
Yeah. Also, man, the homie Ponzu in the building.
Ponzu.
There he is. There he is. And Michael Davis. I don't know if we shouted you out earlier. But yeah, he's in the building. Yes, man, hey, listen, I'm a slower guy. I don't mind if my counting You fall asleep in the middle of my counting sometimes. You're like, oh, I know that counting was still going. I thought it was time to play.
Yeah, I can't do that, bro. Are you a hi-hat or the click or the beep metronome kind of guy? I feel like you could tell a lot about a person by their metronome sound.
I'm a I came up and I favored the MPC metronome, which I don't even know what you call that sound, but I even changed my Ableton metronome to be the MPC metronome.
Yeah, I like the MPC because it's thick. It's like you got a little, you know what I mean? She a little thick, you know what I mean? She got the grown woman weight to it.
Now, for nostalgia's sake, even though it can be annoying at high volumes, for nostalgia's sake, I love the ASR metronome. It's I can't describe it. If it's turned up loud, it's very. But when I used to rap, that shows you how long ago it was. When I was a kid, all my beats were made on ASRs by other people, and that metronome just takes me back to that. So every now and again, I'll switch it out for the ASR metronome, but most of the time, that MPC metronome, I don't know if it sounds like a speaker pop. Or something. It's even funny. Before you. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was saying, Black Person says, I hate the click, which is, it's crazy. It's like some people cannot stand, but I don't like the hi-hat.
I don't like the hi-hat either.
I hate the hi-hat. Yeah, and the little beep, actually. The beep kind of, because it's too tonal, almost. It's too much of a note for me to make other notes on top of it. I don't know, something about it bothers me. So it's like, to me, it's like using a percussion loop almost. So like, that's what, to me, the click is.
I agree. The ASR metronome is almost tonal. It's in between a tonal and a sound. But to me, all my MPC users out there, if y'all know the metronome I'm talking about with the MPC, you know it's the greatest.
Oh yeah, little, you gotta put a little EQ on that boy. That boy is a little thick. Yeah,
I was even going to say, before Ableton allowed you to change the metronome, I figured out how to like hack my Ableton to change.
Oh yeah, you told me. That's where I got it from.
Yeah, hey, that was the move right there, son. That was the move.
Logic is the dopest metronome. I'm trying to remember Logic's metronome. It's been so long. I feel like I liked it, but I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to it.
I got a question for you, for everybody here. Do you think that DAWs have a certain grid, like a certain grid, or are they all just the same? Because I have in Ableton, you can do grooves, and I don't know how many people. I guess people do this, but I would sample like a 16th hot or 16th or 30-second like hi-hat joint and make a groove out of it and use that as a quantize. So I got MPC, ASR, Korg MS1, and then a few DAWs. And I just want to know if people, we'll get into the hardware portion of it later, but I just want to know if people think that DAWs have a different grid between them.
I don't, software, I'm gonna say it's all pretty much the same. I can't tell them. It's different, but it's not enough where I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I'd be like weird saying that I can like notice this. It's not like what sound to me. Like Fruity Loops to me has a sound. I know people argue down about it, but to me, it does. Time-wise, it's not that big of a difference for me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like with time, I'm very like sensitive about like the timing from DJing. It's like I know when to speed something. So to me, it doesn't bother me as much. So I would think that it's kind of similar, but I don't know. It's interesting.
Yeah, to me, different DAWs, and I haven't tested this one out like I did the hardware, but to me, DAWs, they're so digital that to me they have the same grid and the same. Like a 16th on Ableton is going to be the same as a 16th on FL, or it's going to be so negligent that doing the research doesn't even matter. I've done it with hardware, and I still have them, and I did a whole comparison. Remember back at the condo, I used to do that. I don't even remember what the results were. But hardware kind of had a different joint to me. Like the ASR joint was for sure because it was a little flawed. The Korg MS1 surprisingly had the best swing to me. The MPC, as much as people talk about the swing of MPCs, it seemed to match up with DAWs. And I'm talking about like a MPC 2000. And people getting the parts per quarter note. I don't, honestly, most of it is placebo. You just feel like it's something. And I actually asked somebody at Akai, I'm not going to say who it is. I was like, yo, the swing in the grid, real or a myth? They told me straight up, myth. And I believe it. I've done the research. Right. And like I said, I don't remember exactly what my research was, but it was so negligent that it doesn't matter. It's just something cool to kind of fake you out. Now, there's things that you can do to adjust things, but I see people going in on the 4,000 and other things, adjusting the PPQ, which is parts per quarter note. I'm like, fam, you're doing a lot for a result that no one's gonna notice.
Yeah, it's a little button on Fruity Loops called shifts. Turn that bad boy. Hey, throw it off. A lot of times though, I'll be manually like, I just nudge it off the grid a little bit, because it's like sometimes I don't. It's like I'm trying to make a pocket, especially like in house music, like if you're doing like, I don't want to say K-Trip, not a vibe, but like to me that's the easiest thing to think of, right? And that kind of vibe. Sometimes that pocket is such like a feeling that if you put the groove on it, it's not exaggerated enough. So I had to manually drag a lot of the stuff just to get it in that pocket where I want it to be.
Yeah, bro, I'm missing. I forgot how much I missed like the old MPC. I got my 2000 hooked up. I ain't gonna say I've been cooking up on it. I got a few beats on there I made over the week, just skeletons. They sound so good. And then I forgot about that shift on there where you could just shift things later or earlier. And what makes it dope is you can shift. It goes from 1 to 12, and you can do later up to 12 or earlier up to 12. The 1 through 12 makes zero sense to me, but it's so limited in what you can do. It's not like a percentage that you get, so you don't really get specific with it. And I've been just shifting stuff around like willy-nilly, and it sounds great. It just sounds it sounds super great, man. I miss it. I will say this without going into a whole MPC rant. I think I talked last week about how if you make a beat on the MPC, just the fact that the converters kind of like compress it in it always sounds good together. Everything could be turned all the way up almost, and it just still sounds good. And it's tough to recreate that in a DAW. Yes, you can compression and all that. You kind of got to do more. But the thing is, it sounds great in the MPC, but if you're just going to track out your MPC stuff, when you have to play it summed up back in your DAW, it still doesn't. You miss that. Like the individual sounds will sound like they sound on the MPC, which sound great, but that whole summing of everything is tough to recreate. That. Yeah, that's you all. It's like, nah, I'd rather just go. I'm about to go Mad Lib. Like, yeah, you just mix the 2-track.
That's it.
Just mix the 2-track. I don't care what it sounds like, man. Mix my 2-track. Let's go.
Okay, so 100 Miles said 80 is the same as 160. I disagree. It is, but it ain't. It is, but it ain't.
You get a finer grid, which does affect things. For sure. Like the higher grid, yes. The higher the grid, the more effect you have over swing. And I'll be honest with you, when you get into shifting stuff around, it's way more effective and it sounds way better if you double time.
That's why I started double timing, because I would want, like, when I was like younger, like even like stuff like Vanguard and stuff, I would want it to go even faster than what it was. And it's like, if you're so to get it there, I would have to make beats in double time just to trick it to, you know what I'm saying? Just to be a little bit. So that 64 is really, I mean, whatever the 30, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but yeah, you got to think about that. And then your arrangement is different too. When you're in the double time, everything is cut in half. So it's like, it kind of throws you off if you're not like, you know, it's one of the things. It's like, you be like, bruh, why does this intro feel so short? And you be like, oh yeah, I'm in double. I'm in double time. Let me.
Also, one of the downsides to half timing or regular numbers, as we're calling it right now, is if you want to do certain hi-hat rolls. I'm not a super hi-hat roll person anymore, but you got to think on hardware. If you're using hardware, most of it goes up to 32 triplet. It's if you're in a 50 something as opposed to 100 something, you can't really get where you're trying to go. It's very tough.
Yeah. I don't know. Something about the bigger numbers make me feel like I'm doing something important. I don't know. I don't know why 140 makes me feel like, hey, I'm doing something rather than 70. I don't know what it is. It just looks cooler to me.
I can see that.
It just looks cooler. It has no value at all.
I'm the opposite because I'm like, yo, that 4 bars feels like 2, and now I feel crazy. I want my 4 to feel like 4.
But see, I will have to call you out. You be making beats on the wild BPMs, dog. Oracle make beats like 71.538 high.
I don't do that anymore. I don't
Bro,
do that
joint would be, we would be trying to like match up the melodies. I'm like, bro, come on, dog. I feel like I had to pull out the calculator, like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I was for a while, I would be I think I was tapping stuff at the time, and it would just be what it was, and I would just start going. That was once again at the condo. Those are condo techniques. Now I've grown.
Okay.
I'm in a home.
I
have a
crazy,
home now.
Bro.
I have a house, and I don't do.
No,
I only do flat tempos now. I don't even do 0.5s.
Yeah, people that joint would stress me out, bro, because I feel like it's so easy to drift and like get that wrong and forget it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
it's harsh.
When I was DJing, bro, I would hate songs to be like an in between. I was like, bro, come on, dog. Like, just round up, bro. Make it easy for us. But you know,
hey, listen, be a grown up. I'm a grown up now. Be a grown up. Don't have wild tempos, bro. That's a childish thing to do. Very childish, and you don't respect your DJs.
We'll see. DJ 912 says, "How long should your intros be?"
Ugh. I'll be honest with you. Now, I'm gonna tell you no more than 2 bars.
See, but
people's attention span is
you're
short,
in a halftime too, so really 4. He's in a double time too. So
okay, so
4,
no more than 4.
When you said 2, when you said 2, I already knew you were saying 4. I already knew what time it was. But
my dog,
yeah.
Hey, I need a translator up in here. But yeah, people's attention spans are short. And I used to love making long intros back in the day. When I first started making beats, they would be so dramatic and they would build. They would build like every bar, every half a bar, something else would start happening and it led you up into like an explosive start. But shit, I ain't done that in so long. And now, man, people's attention span so short. You better get into that beat. They're going to skip right past your joint.
Dog, if you listen to the baby songs, he don't even be having an intro. It's just like
go in.
As soon as the beat drop, he rapping. You like, bruh, I wasn't even prepared, dog.
You might get a syllable before the
beat. It ain't even a space for the producer tag. The producer tag, like, I don't know where to jump in, dog. I don't even know. I'm gonna wait to the hook somewhere.
Damn, the producer, like, I put my tag is at the end if you listen to it.
Bro, it was so funny, dog. Me and Diego made this beat, and the sample, right? I don't want to say what the sample is, but the sample's wild, bro. It's like it's one of the ones that's either gonna work or it doesn't work. But no matter where you put the producer tag, it sounds like we were dissing ourselves. Because of what the sample is like talking trash about men, and no matter where we put the sample, it sounds like I'm insulting myself. I was like, yo, this is so weird, bro. I was like, yeah, this is a wild record, bro. If it works, it's gonna work. It's gonna be great. But if not, it's not gonna work.
Fam, they got the self-deprecating tags on that joint.
I was like, bro, this is tough, bro.
That is hilarious. Oh, one thing I wanted to ask people here, and I put this in my stories today. In the chat, be honest, do you feel like you have a signature sound? I'm on the signature sound crusade right now. So yeah, while I wait for that, I'll just kind of get into it, bro. I think I don't know. I'm not gonna say I miss signature sounds, like they're not around anymore. But I think it's important, bro. And we talked about this a few times to where you could just hear somebody beating as soon as it come on, you knew from the drums or whatever, like, oh, such and such did that beat without the tag. Before the tag, like you like, oh, I know who made that. To me, that's a signature sound.
Like Monty Booker. Like I hear Monty Booker beat, I know that's it's like it ain't no denying. It's like, oh, that's him. I got a brand new song. I'm like, oh, that's Monty. Oh, that's Kate Renata. It's like it's so distinct that it's like, oh yeah, that's them. But yeah, it's not as celebrated, which is weird.
I feel like it should be. How can you be the best if you can't be identified? That's a legit question. Like, imagine if you couldn't use a tag. how can you be the best if no one can identify you?
Yeah.
You're good. You're good music in a sea of good music.
Yeah.
So.
It's like a whole trick to it too, because it's like people think of like their tag is like their signature, but you got to think like Pharrell uses like the little 4 count, which is great.
You knew a Neptune's beat when you heard it.
Yeah, but it's like even besides that, the drums, their own drums, the sounds they choose, the chords they choose is like you hear, a Pharrell chord, progression, or a Chad chord progression. It's like that's gonna be a weird minor ninth, vibey kind of drink, what I mean?
Pharrell embodies that more than anybody else, or the Neptunes, I should say. The Neptunes embody that more than anyone else. Second, a very close second, of course, would be Tim. A Tim joint will come back and they're like, oh, I know Tim did it. Yeah. But hold on, let's see what this chat is saying.
Let's see. I know I do. He explains it. Oh, he says my signature sound is sci-fi space hop. Oh, that's fine.
See, okay.
May the fourth be with you identity. Type beat. I like it. I like it.
Yeah. See, that's a thing. Like that's a very definitive. When you have that definitive of an explanation of your sound, you thought this out, and you definitely have one.
Let's see. Get an elevator pitch.
Yeah, he did. Perfect.
Yeah, I like it.
Let's see, 16-bit.
Okay. My thing with I've been analyzing signature sounds outside of chords. One of the first things when people were known for signature sounds was drums. Like we talked about Tim, we talked about the Neptunes. No two greater examples than those two camps of producers. Sure. Just from the drums alone, you knew. And so I also realized, and I was talking to somebody about this the other day, it's not about having a lot of drum sounds. Well, it starts there, but if you notice, they would pick the same, I'd say 3 to 5 kicks, the same 3 to 5 snares. If you're Jermaine Dupri, the same 1 hi-hat. And you use that not as a slight.
I got it.
Yeah, and you would know that that's their thing. And I think that now everyone, and I'm just sticking on the drums for a minute, everyone is using the exact same drum sounds.
It's the shared sound culture.
To where if you pick 5 snares or 5 kicks that other people don't use, and you got to find those that line up with what you make and they sound good in everything you make, then that is one of the quickest ways to develop a signature sound. So you have to have a lot in order to whittle it down to like, these are my go-tos, not my top 20 go-tos, not my top 100, my top 3 to 5 that's going to work in almost anything I do. And then you start coupling that with your chord progressions, how your techniques and stuff like that. And that's how you develop a signature sound. But I just think not a lot of people have a signature sound, hence the complaint that a lot of people have legitimately sometimes, that a lot of things sound the same. And I get that. But I just think that people got to get on it more, because you're not going to have an identity in a game where 1 million people get into it every day. And if everybody wants to use the exact same thing, your chances of carving out your niche, and everyone wants to be this great and they compare themselves to the greats, but everybody that they say they want to be had these things that you are not doing. You know what I'm saying? And not to sound like I'm singling anybody out or scolding anybody, but it's just a little research that I've been doing. So I was doing a bit of a informal consultation with somebody, and I was just telling them about the drums. They was like, I never thought about that. Like, yeah, you just go through what you got, pick with 5 or 10 or whatever things people aren't using, and then kind of turn those into a signature sound. And then once a year, once every 6 months, once every whatever, kind of swap those out, or swap 1 or 2 or 3 of them out for something else until your sound evolves to where you find you feel like you're in a Neptune's ballpark with like, as soon as my joint come on from the kick or from the snare or from the 8, people know that's me. Because I use this in all these joints and no one else is using these. And I just feel like people aren't aren't doing that. So I'm going on a little personal crusade to
Mhm.
bring back the signature sound. That's all.
No, see, Lex Luger, great example.
Yes.
See, nobody could identify Diego, Av, or OZ until we read the credits, and they're on major producers. I'm biased. Diego's my brother, so I could tell a Diego beat instantly, but I also work with the dude all the time. Oz, OZ, I don't know him as much. I'm not as familiar with his stuff outside of like the big ones, but to me, he has a sound too. When we say signature sound, we're not saying like don't make trap beats. It's like
right. No, not genre based.
yeah, it's just like
Your
Mike Will
sauce.
and Metro to me are completely different, even though they're all in the same. Sunny is different than Metro, even though they hang together. Southside is different than, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're their own people. So it's like you hear that, but a lot of times the trend is I'm gonna make now it's like everybody's making these yeet kind of beats. And I'm like, bro, I'm so sick of it. I'm like, how is this? It just got here a couple months ago, and it's like I'm already tired of it, bro. I'm like, bro, I don't want to hear no more of them joints, bro. Like, come on, like it's like I get it, it works, and that's the wave, but it's like I don't want to hear no more rage beats. I don't want to hear no more like it's like, bro, everybody's doing the. That's what we mean about signature sounds. Like
exactly.
Somebody figured out that pocket. Work to figure out your pocket. You know what I mean? That's what your job is, to figure out where your pocket is and go be that. But just like that copying thing, it's more what I'm talking about. I mean,
and that's how you get identified, by getting your own pocket, your own this, your own that. Oh, BMW J Banks, what up? I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you on this one, fam. He says it's really not the producers who create the signature sound, it's the artist that shapes the producer's signature sound. Not true.
Yeah,
not true at all. Not true at
Manny First, Scott Storch.
If you look at the two examples we named, Neptunes and Temp, you hear the instrumentals, you know who made it. You don't need an artist on there to know who to be. Yeah, we see, that's the thing. We talking about it starts with the sounds. And to me, the element is the drums you use. Then it becomes your swing. Then it becomes your chord progressions. Then it becomes the techniques and the certain processing you use. Look at 40 with the underwater joint. Signature sound. People were filtering stuff out, but he started doing the sample rate reduction, which was a spin on the filter, and then everybody started doing it. That's a signature sound.
I almost think that is the problem, that he's saying that the artists are shaping the producer's signature sound, and I think that that's what the problem is that artists will be like, I want this kind of beat. And that's what producers are making. It should be the opposite of producers are saying, hey, this is the wave. You know what I'm saying? You need to jump on this, or we need to come together and do this. You know what I'm saying?
Facts though. Damn.
So why every major producer say find an artist and find a sound? No, that is true.
Well, that's different.
Yeah.
That's to break yourself in the industry, to get people. That's, to me, is a better way to showcase your sound. Because if you have a sound and you're a producer, you're not going to put out instrumental albums and people are going to get you're not going to get signed up there. But if you get an artist and break an artist, and now you have a whole album to showcase your signature sound. That's why you break an artist. You and that artist make a chemistry, and the artist is just a canvas, if you will. Each song with an artist is a canvas for you to showcase your signature sound. Now imagine you doing a whole album with an unknown artist is a way for you to create a whole museum for people to walk in, and now they can see your whole everything that you embody as a producer.
It's like you having like Union. Are you familiar with like the Union Jordans, right?
Yep.
So Union,
I still gotta get a pair of those.
Union got their own style. Jordan has their own style, but when they come together, it's the combination of the styles, and that's what brings people. It's a different, unique take. So that's what an album is. It's like an artist should have their own signature. That should be the goal. It's like artists should have their own signature style. If you listen to Gunna and Young Thug, they from the same camp, but it's different. You know what I mean? And it's like it's easy for them to copy each other, but it's a difference in it. And that's what people got to figure out, is what is that difference and what's going to separate them. And then if, like, for example, Gunna, he has his own signature sound, and then you find somebody like Wheezy who has a signature sound, which probably made Gunna be attracted to his music. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you just find some random producer and you be like, all right, make this, and then it's like it grows. No, the artist is like you because your sound is different, or they should. That's to me how it should be. You know what I'm saying? So
Facts.
that's what I think where it gets weird is the relationship isn't as strong anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you know, we just gotta figure out better ways to communicate with the artists and with other producers about like, let's try to be different. It's not the easiest part, but like, let's work a little harder. Let's separate ourselves. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, that's 100. I encourage everybody this weekend, try to, whether you feel like you have one or not, like try to do more to develop your identity. You can start with the selecting the top 3 eights or the top 3 snares or whatever it is that you got, but just try to do something where people know is you. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. What up, pimp? Somebody coming in the building. I feel like I heard somebody coming down the steps. Yo. You get matter of fact, I don't know if you want to be on camera or not, but you can go peep in. It's the homie. Homie Marcel.
What up?
Say what up to the
people.
What
up, bro?
What's good, UnQuantized world? Chicago. Y'all gonna see a lot from me real soon, but I'm gonna get y'all get back to y'all thing.
Yeah, he killing it, man. Did he do something, Benny?
Drunk Benny the Butcher, work with Cassidy. Got my own project coming out. You're gonna see a lot of that coming. Just watch out.
Yeah, yes, check my guy Marcel. Yeah, I'll be right with you in 2 seconds, man. Yeah, we about to get into a little something. Anyway, but listen, let's see what this chat talking about, and then I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up and get this weekend started. You did.
Let's see. The producer can adapt the artist sound. Yeah, I feel like it's like the Dragon Ball Z fusion dance. You know what I mean? But you both gotta. It's like having a point guard and a center on your team. Y'all both gotta have y'all skills to be a great team. You know what I mean?
True. However, if you are the producer, yes, you can adapt to the artist sound. I feel like you said, you should collaborate, but at the same time, you are the producer. Your job is to produce the artist and make them still feel comfortable within their realm. Because if I'm a producer and I'm adapting to a certain artist sound, when I leave that artist and go somewhere else, am I just going to adapt to everybody, or am I going to have my own identity? And that's the reason why people want to come to me in the first place. You did? Like, I don't want to be like, because if you do it the other way around, you're such and such as producer now. You feel what I'm saying? Like you only make beats for, let's just say SZA. You only make SZA type beats or whatever versus a Tim or a Neptunes or whatever. The artists come to you for that. And it also makes the artist more producible, if that makes sense, because
they come in wanting
facts. You got it.
That makes sense.
Nail on the head, man. But let's wrap this chat up.
Let's see. It's like the question
you answered up.
Oh, that's dirty.
Nigga say you look like Charlamagne the God.
Hey, the Breakfast Club. Hi, Angela. You doing? Why are you doing it like that?
Hey, yeah. He said that's dirty.
He said that's exactly how we happened. My sound attracted him, and his sound attracted me, and now our sound is crazy together. That's how it works, bro.
That's fire. Somebody said much success to you, fam. Yeah.
Appreciate that, y'all.
Yes, sir. But man, listen. So I hate to get up out of here on y'all so quick. This show we was kind of going, but I didn't realize it's already been like almost an hour.
Oh
yeah. Hey, thank all y'all for coming through, bro. What you got going on this weekend?
I'm doing nothing. I'm about to be lazy. I've had a rough couple of weeks, so I'm about to just make beats and not do anything. That's pretty much my weekend. I'm gonna enjoy this Cinco de Mayo weekend. I'm gonna drink, I'm gonna make music, and I'm gonna vibe out and party. That's about it.
Sounds fire, bro.
What about you?
Man, I'm actually getting up with some of my old crew from my old neighborhood tomorrow. We're having a little cookout joint. Yesterday, after talking to you, I was inspired. I went out and filled myself full of Casamigos and then went to go see Doctor Strange. I didn't even talk about that on the show. It was a dope movie though. So yeah, just this weekend's gonna be more the same. And I gotta do that one thing I was telling you about. But other than that, fam, I'm gonna make some beats. I'm not really gonna stress myself out with work too much this weekend, man. I'm kind of live and let this this spring. I'm gonna let spring do a spring thing this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man. So look, man, thank all y'all for coming through.
Yes, sir.
And listen, as we say.